Mary Kay Ash, the lady, and the way I never got to meet her in person. In fact, I wish I did. I joined Mary Kay just when the last seminar Mary Kay Ash showed up to. She couldn't speak anymore. She had had a stroke. She hadn't been to seminar in some years, but she came to say, I love you to the crowd. I would have felt her energy, but I'll never forget, like, I went to my adopted sales director's meeting, and I was literally new into all of this. I just signed my agreement, and I didn't get the whole core and the culture of it. And she's like, this is Mary Kay Ash's very last time going to seminar. You guys, you won't want to miss this. This is an iconic moment and a historical moment. And you have no idea what it feels like to be in the crowd with Mary Kay Ash, and just the way she penetrates the love and the energy and the capacity to believe in yourself. And I was so ignorant that I was like, it's just a freaking company president, whatever. And I didn't go. I was like, oh, who's this lady, company president? I don't care. And I would have started my whole business 2.5 years earlier, because I had 2 failed attempts after that point, and I quit for 2.5 years. I thought I was horrible at it. I had a holiday open house. So if you're brand new and you don't have at least 50 customers, you do not have a holiday open house. And no one told me that. In fact, my recruiter was guiding me and advised me to have a holiday open house and to make baskets. And it was the poorest advice I could have gotten. So I put the tree up early. I wrapped every lipstick I had. I wrapped every nail polish I had. We used to sell nail polish back then, mascara. The whole tree was ornaments of Mary Kay. And I baked cookies, and I don't bake. I put flyers out. I was temporarily living in my parents' house. I put flyers out in the neighborhood, and I sat and I waited. And Bing Crosby was playing on the CD. And, there wasn't like Spotify and choose other things. Oh, no, it was a tape, excuse me, on the tape. And it was playing, and it was playing, and it was playing, and it was playing, and no one showed up until finally my future mother-in-law came by, and she ate my cookies and she left. And she didn't buy one thing. She complimented how everything looked, and she left. And after the holiday open house ended, 8 hours I was open of torturous waiting. At the end, no, Bing Crosby was no longer my favorite. My mother's friend Judy had promised to come by, and it was a quarter after the time ended, and she on the door, and she said, Roya, I've had a really full, busy day, but I wanted to come support you. Congratulations on having your new business. No, I don't have time to come in. Oh, please, Judy. Oh, please come and see all the beautiful wrapping. No, I got to go fast. I just came by for a mascara. $7.50 later, I quit my business for 2.5 years. I literally stuffed everything with bows and packaging under the little twin bed in my parents' space that I was sleeping in. And I'm like, this thing is horrible. I'm not doing it. I am not doing it. So when I needed product, I'd unwrap the wrapping and I'd go in and get it for myself or my mom or my grandmother. And they were my only customers for 2.5 years, you guys, 2.5 years until I was so desperate for a financial change. Anybody ever feel desperate for a financial change? Like, I can't keep on the hamster wheel. I woke up to my life and I was like, all right, if I stay on the same path of the income, hardworking, director of marketing, big title, not as big a paycheck as I needed. We had a condo I owned that didn't have a renter in it. All of a sudden, we had Noah's student loan debt, which was over $90,000. We had $120,000 of debt. We had our car payment of his, condo we're paying for, the rent in our other condo. And I did the math one day. And so I'm going to ask you, as we enter this new year, have you ever done the math on your financial life? Like, done the math on your financial life? Did you know that it takes, on average, for a woman in retirement, she needs $3 million on average. $3 million to comfortably retire. Men need two because they live less and on average, not as long. So we need $3 million. And I was like, I'm not even going to start saving a dime until I'm 57 years old. And you know, with compound interest, you lost everything. You've lost so much. And it doesn't mean that if you're past 57 now, you're hopeless, because you've got a financial option that you can build that can create income when you're not doing hardly any, not doing much once you've built that foundation of the kind of residual income we get to have. But when I did the math, I was like, I'm going to be paying off my debt until I'm 57, you guys. And so I started trying other things. I made cookie baskets. Anybody remember those beautiful, they were really popular then in the night. It was 2000. It was, I started, this was 1999. Okay. I started making cookie baskets, and they were the ones where you put them on a stick and they look like a flower arrangement, but they're in cookies. Well, I made 3 beautiful baskets painstakingly with tears in my kitchen because I hate to cook, but I like to make things pretty and know when I make the formula. How do you make this cookie stick on the thing? How do you make it hard enough to stay on there, soft enough to be delicious? And I gave 3 beautiful baskets away. I made 0. I spent hours. I mean, it was at least like 40 hours trying to make these baskets. Okay. And that was for the birds, because I was only going to be able to make so much with all that work. So we've got to really think about the time that we're spending, you guys. We have to really think about it. And I didn't choose Mary Kay again. I actually didn't. There are signs all around you. And maybe this call today is your sign to wake up to your own story of reality. So I woke up to my story of reality, right? And then I began to seek. I went into childlike, wide-eyed wonder, what is possible? And there was a woman that worked in my office, in the office building I was working in as a director of marketing on SunTrust Mortgage. I was at the base of the building. She was on the 3rd floor in the bank section. And she was going to retire in 2 years. And she decided to start Mary Kay to supplement her retirement. She knew if she earned a free car, it would make the difference in her retirement income to what she was making normally working. And she started making more money in the bathroom at the job, doing 10-minute back of the hand appointments. So how many of us are waiting for plenty of time to do a lot of things instead of doing the little things in the tiny time that we have? So she was doing these 10-minute moments on the back of the hand. And she was literally making more money per week than she did in her full-time job at SunTrust. She's like, Roya, come to a meeting with me. You got to go. I'm like, oh, Pat, you're so good at this. This is not for me. I mean, her skin was amazing, in her 60s, flawless. I'm like, you're a poster of this, but this is not me. Please just come to a meeting with me. Okay, I'm going to come. They're making goal posters. I'm gonna take a picture of my goal poster, you guys. I'll post it in Voxer and you'll see it. It was my goal poster. I was like, what do you put on a goal poster if you have no Mary Kay goals? That was my question to that adopted director. So you're gonna see on there, it's like, make people happy. And then I made this goal poster like way in the summer, I think it was. And it says I'm gonna earn a free car like the following year. So if you have a goal that's big in your Mary Kay business, but it's 8, 9, 10 months, a year out, it's not a real goal. It's just trying to talk about a dream. A goal has an urgent deadline that you have to do something about. It was just to make my poster look pretty. And oh yeah, that would be nice. There's a that would be nice that's never going to happen, and a goal that you're going to make happen. Do you see the difference? Look at your that would be nice pipe dreams. Look at your that would be nice pipe dreams and ask yourself, how much do I really want it? And if you really want it, you got to back the results closer to you and make an actionable plan. Now that's something that I'm really good at. One of my top strengths in Strength Finder is strategic. So I can help you to back that up. And I am happy to do it. You can hit me on Voxer or Mattis793. I don't care whose unit you're in. I'm your national. I can help you make a strategic mathematical plan so that it takes the wonder out of it. So you can go into action instead of like, did this result work, and start to doubt yourself. You've got to be business women, you guys. We got to stop being these emotional creatures when it comes to our business and thinking that, oh, it's a makeup fun. Yeah, it can be. It is. And it can also be so much more. So when we're looking at your financial future, is it secure enough for you to save $3 million by the time you want to retire? If not, you've got to start putting your strategic cap on and make decisions that are going to take you there. Yes. So I went to this meeting and I made this goal poster in quotes, but it gave me some like a peak of excitement on the business itself. So I put the Mary Kay pin on, and I wore the Mary Kay pin later that week to a restaurant, a gathering in a restaurant. I had one friend in the area. She had a lot of friends. You know, those people that have like lots of friends. She had lots of friends. I had one friend who invited me. And at that gathering, this girl from across the restaurant, we were in the like bar section. She comes across and she comes to me, my body, and she points to the pin on my shirt. And she goes, "You do, Mary Kay. We're going to have a party." And I was like, "We are?" She's like, "I love Mary Kay. We're going to have a party." I'm like, "Oh my, yeah, that sounds great. We're going to have a party." Dawn Schulenberg had my first party. She kicked my butt back into Mary Kay, like boom, like, ugh. She didn't know I wasn't doing it. I wasn't going to tell her. I was like, "Yeah, that's a great idea." So I'm like, what am I going to do? How many of you guys have not had a party in a really long time? Yeah. So you get freaking nervous. So this is not feeling good. This is feeling with anxiety. This is like, I'm going to have a party on this. I'm going to have a party. Okay. All right. All right. I'm not going to show up like a dummy. So if you want to kick your tail into gear, book something virtually or in person that makes your body go, I'm going to have to do it now because I said I was. Then you're going to go into figure out mode. This is the way, not waiting for the feeling, creating an experience that you got to show up for, and the feeling will start to arise. So I cracked open the VHS that was 2.5 years old that came in my starter kit that taught me how to do a skincare class ish. So I'm watching this and I'm watching this and I'm watching this and I'm watching this. So do you see how I'm watching this and I'm watching this and I'm watching this and I'm watching this? You know, the first time is an introduction. Like the first time you watch me say this, it's like, oh, interesting. Oh, light bulb moment, maybe. It's a concept that's going in your head, but it's not drilling into your spirit. It takes 6 times if you really want to master something in training. Like you go to a workshop, you got to read it again, and again. And when you start to teach it is when you become the expert. Okay. So I watched this video 6 times, this VHS tape 6 times to prepare for her party. I show up, she's not there. I have to go to her back porch. I have to drag in her card table. She didn't have a table set up for me. It was dusty. It had leaves in it. It had spider cobwebs on there. And I unfold this table and I put it in her empty dining room space. Nice home though, in McLean, Virginia, high affluent place. She and her husband were making really good money. I was not making really good money. I was like, woo, she's the ultimate, right? So I put the tablecloth on top that she'd left for me and I set up this party and I repeat what I heard and how I heard it. You guys, reading the words of the scripts that I give you is this much. On our family website, wildareafamily.com. I know I'm getting off of what I said I was going to do, but I'm feeling this moment. Are you guys feeling this moment? I feel like I'm supposed to say this to somebody right now. Tell me if I need to stop. Should I keep on going? Yeah. Okay. So where was I? So oh my goodness, I totally lost my train of thought. What was it, Debbie?
You were saying that reading the words is like this much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So wildareafamily.com has the scripts on it, but what's most important, you take those scripts and you listen to me on the video or whoever I have recorded there for you. In wildareafamily.com, there's a virtual section that's like your home right now. And then there's also skincare class training. And the place I really want you to look at is the clothes. The clothes is so important. So there's different places, whatever it is you need to refine, watch it and look at it. So I'm regurgitating these words at the party. I can hear the women's intonation, because remember, communication is 7% words, 37% body language, and the rest is intonation. So intonation and body language is the most important part of communication. I could be saying the exact same thing, but I'm saying it in this monotone voice, and you're just like, wow, this is not exciting at all. But if I say the exact same thing in a very different tone, it catches your attention in a very different way, doesn't it? It's totally the same-ish words, different delivery. Yeah. Okay. So I'm saying it the exact same way. Now, remember, I had this failed open house attempt where I sold a mascara for $7.50. Prior to that, I had one skincare class. I didn't ask people if they were allergic to stuff or not. I put some product on people's face. 2 people's faces went on fire. I mean, because people are, even though they're hypoallergenic and safe for sensitive skin, everyone's different. I didn't know if they're sensitive. I should have had them put the product on the inside of their elbow first to test it, because the inside of the elbow is the closest to your skin. But then I learned that milk neutralizes everything, and we put out the fire on the skin. But that was my opening skincare class experience. And that's all I had. That's all I had behind me 2.5 years earlier. At that party, you guys, at that party, because I prepared and I had the audience, I sold $1,000 at that party. I sold $1,000 at that party, $1,000 from a girl that was actually later to be found out. I didn't know my status in Mary Kay. I was on the terminated list. I was on the list that I had not ordered Mary Kay in almost I was in the 12th month of not ordering any Mary Kay. So the next month I would have been expired out. My inventory was this big. So I put everything in a suitcase and I said to the girls, anything you want, grab it out of here real quick, because that's all I got in Unstock, and anything else I have to order. It was like a feeding frenzy, you guys, a feeding frenzy. They're like, mine, this was mine. Oh, remember, I had stuff still wrapped. So I put some stuff still wrapped around, because it was, what month was it? It was the beginning of October. I don't know. I had it in Christmas wrapping. They didn't care. They wanted it. Okay. So I take these tickets. I didn't know how to book anything though, guys. I did not know how to book anything. So I had a great sale. My business was open for a minute. I had a great sale, and then it went flatlined. Anybody else have flatline after you have a great party or sold some things, and then it just can't live on flatline? So it's one layer to sell, but you got to learn how to book, you guys. You got to learn how to lead generate. That's why I have sections on our website, wildareafamily.com, password belief, all lowercase, password belief, where it gives you how to book from the parties, how to set up your following appointments. That's how to lead generate there. That's what you want to hone in on. That's more important than the product delivery. The product sells itself. Put it on half the face and they will feel a difference. Or online, we have playbacks for you on that. Okay, so I have a flat line in my business. They start canceling. Half of the orders of the 1,000 starts canceling. Why? Because they go home and they look in their medicine cabinet and they go, I'm not quite out yet. I'll wait. I don't know what I was thinking. Or they have this urgency and they're out and they can't wait. I mean, would you wait for a week to 2 weeks for eye cream and you don't have any eye cream? Would you just wait because the person you just bought it from didn't have it? You wouldn't wait. You would go, I'm just going to pick it up at CVS real quick, or at the mall, or online now at Amazon. So I started having the feeling of what it felt like to not have inventory. So asking you also, if you're watching this now or watching the playback, do you have the store to support your desires? Now, a lot is online. So to be honest with you, I just want you to have the core items in stock now. I want you to have the skincare. Like, I want you to have the main skincare items, the Time-Wise skincare, at least a few sets. eye care, the repair, one set of the naturally line. So that's your core. And then you need to have mascara, because if people are needing mascara, they need it right now. But like a lot of the rest of it, you can have it direct shipped if you want to. Now that adds up though, that adds up financially. And you can build it into, if you have virtual parties only, build it in, give everybody a $5 flat shipping rate. Okay, they're used to paying shipping if they have to. No one's going to really balk on that. If it's all virtual party, put in a flat $5 shipping rate. Just tack it on the end. Stop eating that cost out of your profit. That's why you're getting disgruntled. Don't do things that piss you off on the inside, or you're going to stop doing it. Your brain is designed to stop you from pain and death. So if you keep feeling pain every time you sell something, are you going to sell more? You're not going to sell more. So stop acting like you don't have choices. You're your own business owner. Tack on the $5 for shipping if you want to do that. Okay. All right. So I'm experiencing that. So then I don't know how to get more product. I don't know how to order it. I owe people all this stuff. I don't know how to order it. I don't remember my consultant ID. I don't remember. You really go on the website back then. You had to I don't remember what you did at this particular second. Anyway, I didn't know how to order anymore. So I called that adopted director up, the one where I went and I made a goal poster with no real goals. I called her up because she's the only one Mary Kay person phone number I had at that point. And I'm like, I'm out of stuff. Can I borrow $600 worth of retail stuff to fill the orders for these people? And she's like, no, order it yourself. And that was the right answer. But I was so angry. I was like, how could she? I owe these people product. Because I'm supposed to be an independent business owner, and that makes us a pyramid scheme when we take product from each other that's not discontinued. If it's discontinued, you can't get it anymore. That's a different story. Well, as fate would have it, God wanted me in this business because Anita Tripp at the time was trying, as our senior national, was trying to become a national. And she calls me up on the phone out of the blue, because I happened to be in a unit that was struggling. Why? Remember the person who recruited me that told me to have an open house when I had no customers, and that was her strategy of me starting my business? Well, she was terrible at the business, but she still became a sales director. Why did she become a sales director? Sheer freaking grit. So you can do everything wrong with the right willpower, and you're going to do it, you guys. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to keep strong and keep going. She had a vision of becoming a sales director. But she'd never held a party. She only did facials, onesies, twosies. That doesn't build skill. These group appointments, virtually, these group appointments in person, is what's going to build your skill that's transferable. Yeah. So she's on this struggling unit. She's not making production, and Anita needed her to make production to help Anita become a national. So she's taking this girl's unit list, and I'm on there. And I'm on the terminated list, like I mentioned to you. And my maiden name is Mustafavi. And she's like, Virginia, Mustafavi. I'm sure she didn't pronounce it that way. Mustafavi. I don't know how to say it. I'm sure she did. So she's looking at it and she's like, who is this? All of her people were in Georgia or in the South. And here I am in Virginia, and she doesn't know who I am. So she calls me up and I answer the phone. And this is like a house line, because we didn't carry cell phones around and it was 2000. It was October of 2000. I picked up the phone and I hear her voice, and she goes, hey, this is Anita Tripp with Mary Kay. And I'm like, Mary Kay. I interrupt her. Oh my God, thank God. I owe these people all this product and I don't know how to order it. And I just sold $1,000 at a party and I owe all this stuff because I haven't been doing this business. And she goes, you what? I mean, you're calling somebody that's on the terminated list, and then they're telling you that they owe all this product. So she tabled that, and she asked me, she basically sold me out, breathed belief into me, because to get me to come to a workshop, a fall advance, in a matter of, I think it was 5 days later. 5 days later, she's like, she didn't hesitate, you guys, to say, hey, fly from Virginia to Georgia to my fall advance in 5 days. I'm going to take care of you there. You're going to learn everything you need to know, but I need you to get here. And y'all, because no one had believed in me that way for so long, I didn't have any money. I called my parents up and I said, can I use your frequent flyer miles? And that's how I got there in 5 days. I used their frequent flyer miles. And I got on that airplane and my life changed because I realized that we are a vessel to meet human beings with skin. Our skincare just wide opens all the possibilities of the people that you get to meet. And you get to be the vessel of hope. You get to let them look at their future, that they're going to just be getting out of debt at the age of 57 if they don't accumulate any more debt, and to begin the wealth process. Do you know how fast I paid off that debt? I paid off that debt in a year. Let me think. So it's 2000, October 2000. I've told the story a million times, but I don't want to tell fib. And I'm like, yeah, that's right. In 2.5 years, I paid off $120,000 of debt, $137,000 of debt. And I was 28 years old. Yeah, I was 28 and a half, 20, almost 22, 29 with all that debt. And it was, goodness gracious, girls, let me get this right here. I'm in a condo. I got married at 25. I started Mary Kay at 27 and a half. By 29, so it was a year and a half. By 29, I was debt free. And I know that because I moved into my 7,000 square foot house at 29. I went from a rented condo to a townhouse to a 7,500 square foot home in 2.5 years of starting the business. Possibility, reality check becomes determination, life course. And then my purpose changed. I wanted to enrich women's lives. I wanted to give them choices. I wanted to give them possibilities. I wanted to give them a place to dream. Do you know how many people in society right now are not dreaming? They're surviving. They're trying to not get sick. They're trying to not die or get their other family members sick. And they're financially flatlined. You don't have to be financially flatlined. As we head into 2022, you know what to do. You have to make the choice to freaking do it. And you have to stop telling yourself the lies that you don't know how to do it. You see, when I got out of that fall advance, when I got out there, Nito looked me in the eyeballs and I ordered inventory right there. I ordered the full store right there. I gave him my credit card. I cried. I freaked out. It was not comfortable. I didn't know I was going to become a national sales director. I was a girl in $137,000 of debt that literally looked at my checkbook. You guys, I had to meticulously add up my checkbook because between paychecks, I would have $1.27 or 13 cents in my bank account. And I gave them a credit card I had no capacity of paying the bill on, the minimum payment. And I didn't ask my husband first. And I'm not telling you that's a great thing. I came home and asked for forgiveness. And he said the best thing at the time, I got to give Noah a lot of credit. He said, well, with no evidence of me being able to do it, he goes, if anyone can do it, you can, Roya. And we made a deal because he's scarcity mentality and he freaks him out to see bills. And we made a deal. I'm going to open this credit card statement. You're not even going to look at it. I'm going to be responsible for this one. And I did. And I went to freaking work because I put fire under my fanny. If you're not working this business, have you put enough risk on the table? Or whatever it is you want to do. Have you put enough risk on the table? I talked to a lot of millionaires and even billionaires in the last about decade now. And their risk tolerance is so much higher. That's really what it is. They trust themselves to figure it out. Well, you're in a business for yourself, but not by yourself. But you got to freaking trust yourself. Even if you failed yourself in the past, to figure it out. We're on a new year. It's a new determination. But you got to not let yourself off the hook. I was not going to put us in bigger buried space. And so I worked 2 full-time things at the same time. My job and my Mary Kay business were both full-time for a short amount of time. And yes, I was tired as heck for the first year. I was exhausted. I remember laying my head on the pillow and thinking, when is the next time I'm not going to be this tired? And that year of sacrifice, it doesn't happen in a month. You keep going like, it didn't happen last month, so no, it doesn't happen in a month. Does your whole life get to where you're at today in 1 month? No. Does your whole life change in a month? No. One booking time, one party, one stupid customer, one family member that says something that makes you feel like you can't do it. No. You have to decide that I'm crossing this bridge. And there's going to be splinters, but I'm going to be tougher for it. I'm going to be smarter for it. I'm going to be more confident because of it. You guys, just on the other side of that which you resist is confidence. And I know we can all, as confident as we can be in certain areas, we can all use more confidence. Confidence is on the other side of that which you resist because you think you're going to fail somewhere in there. The fear that binds you, the uncertainty that lands within you. So here we are, 2022. In 2023, 1 decade from now, imagine the possibilities. Have you imagined them? Have you? Because if you haven't, you're going to be very near the same place. So 1 year later, I leave my full-time job. And then we move into our first townhome that we buy. And in that townhome, I earned 3 vehicles. I'd already earned, in the condo, I'd already earned my first one. I earned my second, the premier level car. And then I earned my third, the Cadillac. And then I went on to do 600,000 that first full year as a sales director. And I doubled and I tripled my income. And I paid off all that debt along with Noah in that time. And then we built this 7,500 square foot house. And when we walked in, we had no debt except the mortgage. We had paid off the car. We had paid off our student loans. We paid off our credit card debt. Nothing was left but the mortgage. And by the time we moved in, because we built the home, it actually happened to be worth more than what we had a mortgage on it for. So we had a profit. Where are you going to be? Where are you going to be next year, December 4th, 2023? I just figured it out. When I got on that airplane and she looked in my eyes and she said, Roya, you're going to go on target for your car this month, October. It was already the 2nd and we're 2.5 weeks into October. I'm like, okay, yes, Anita, yes. Did I know anything more? No, I didn't know anything more. I made a freaking decision to cross the bridge. And because of that decision, I would never have done this. Otherwise, there was a layover on the plane. Remember, I'm on frequent flyer miles. I don't have a direct flight. I have one of those flights where I got to connect to this one and connect to that one. I get on a pay phone, y'all. Pay phone. We didn't have cell phones back then. Put the quarter in, dial. Hi, Julie. You know how I was making fun of Mary Kay for years? Yeah. Well, this is amazing. You got to do it with me. Recruit number 1. I land off the airplane. My brother picks me up. I get to my parents' house, and there's my other brother's girlfriend at the time has become his wife, Summer. Summer's in my parents' house. Summer, this business is amazing. It's about changing people's lives. We're going places. You got to do it with me. Did I know anything else? No. Recruit number 2. Recruit number 3 and 4 came from parties that I sloppily did with enthusiasm. And recruit number 5 was, Mama, I'm 1 away from going on target for my car. I knew you'd call me someday. I just didn't know it'd be this soon. Fine. All right, Mama, you're my recruit number 5. Mom got me on target for my free car. You guys, we ask when we have vision. People need something to fall in love with. They got to get out of survival and into a dream. It might be your dream at first. Somebody's dream around them becomes invigorating for everybody else that gets to have a touch point to you. Who can you enliven with your wake-up call? So I go on target for my car a week and a half after saying yes from one training conference. Your training conference can be right there on Mary Kay in Touch or wildareafamily.com. passcode belief. It could be right there. I didn't have anybody around me. I wasn't near my people that recruited me. But you know what? That made me so much stronger because I had to do it. I couldn't nurse on anybody else's, capabilities. And I think that's why I did so much so fast, because I had to do it. Just do it. And this is the gift to you guys. When I do it for you, you're like, Roya doesn't do this and do that. I clip your wings, y'all. You think I'm amazing. Oh, yeah. Oh, she did amazing. What does that do for you? Really? 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 What does that do for you? It might give you a rush for a minute, but are you gaining a skill? And are you taking that wish to the confidence that's just on the other side? Or are you still landing in insecurity of imposter syndrome? That will eradicate with action and failing forward to success. So let's read Mary Kay Ash's thing. Who's feeling it right now? Who's understanding where I'm coming from? Who's maybe going to really let their imagination go and allow the possibilities of the decade ahead to be different? Dream about, I know you do, Debbie. I know you're strategic. Dream about 2032. Today. How old are you going to be in 10 years? What are you going to give? What are you going to stand for? What have you accomplished? And then back it up. What about December of 2022, December 4th? Where are you going to be? Where are you going to be? And then back it up further. Like when the ball drops, what decisions would you have made? What moves would you already start in this next month to prepare for January of 2022? Mary Kay Ash says, here at Mary Kay Inc., we are dedicated to keeping the Christmas spirit alive throughout the year. For I firmly believe that we all send into the lives of others does come back into our own. And by trying to live Christmas 12 months a year, we can make this world a better place in which we live. Yes, the world needs Christmas. May the spirit of Christmas permeate your life and bring you the peace that passes understanding. Love you, Mary Kay Ash. Also, she says, my goal is to live every day as if it were Christmas, to be kinder, gentler, more loving than ever before, that everyone I meet, if I will pledge with me to do this, then we can indeed change the old world for the better. The vibrations, you guys, you sent out are all how it's coming back to you in connection. And that's what I'm going to tell you, how you're going to literally change your scope of your presence and your future with 3 steps I'm going to tell you today. I see the time at 9:44. So let me see. There is a, let's see, Sweet 13 on YouTube has a YouTube premiere on December 8th at 6:30 p.m. Central, 7:30 p.m. In Eastern time. If you go to YouTube and you put in Mary Kay, put Sweet 13 YouTube premiere, and you go to the Mary Kay YouTube channel, again, December 8th, you're going to be able to be a part of a big, beautiful celebration. And I would invite friends and family to go to, again, in YouTube, put in Mary Kay channel, and they'll be able to watch that experience. And this is going to be an edge for you, a technology edge and a conversation starter for those that you love. Sweet 13. And one of the ways to talk about it is, you guys have never seen anything like this ever. Like, let me show you the future of technology and cosmetics. Like, check it out. It's going to be like a memory moment, because it's going to surprise your senses so much. Join me on YouTube on December 8th at 7:30 Eastern. Okay, so you needed to know that for sure. And career conference, maybe they need the bigger items, right? Okay, so let's talk about the 3 things that are going to transition you in this new year. Number 1 is going to be routine, a machine that runs your dream. Number 2 is going to be the mindset and how you rewire. And number 3 is going to be changing your selling mentality to your helping mentality with a close. So some of you guys are either like pushy sales, or some of you guys are so helpful that you're not actually selling anything. Okay, so the first thing to do is look at your calendar, find out the strategy. First, find what are the numbers, what is the math to get you your goal. For some of you guys, it's going to be one party a month, one experience a month. For some of you guys, it's going to be 3 a week. It just, the math doesn't lie. Okay, so I will help you with that strategy. Then you literally look at your calendar and you will plot in specifically when you're going to do what. Remember, it takes so much more effort, and you deplete the bank of willpower. Willpower has a limit every single day. You start off with more willpower in the beginning of the day, and by the end, you're snacking on that cookie bag you were resisting all day, because your willpower goes down, it depletes. So how do you save willpower to do the things that matter? By eliminating the willpower for the little things. Like if you do things on a regular, the same every time, then it becomes habit and routine and requires no willpower. You brush your teeth without willpower. You drive places without willpower because you're in automatic zone. Your body gets used to, this is what I do. This is what I do. This is what I do. So when you lead generate and book, so booking and lead generation are the fundamental foundations. Do it on the same day, every single week at the same time. So over time, you get into a rhythm that requires no willpower. In the beginning of hard changing my habit, I had to play a game with myself. I literally looked at the clock. I would develop bad habits prior to this point. I would watch TV in this really comfortable chair with an ottoman, and I wasn't willing to give that up, but I was willing to start to make the change. And so I played a game with myself. And when the clock struck 7, boom, clock struck 7, boom, I was like, the game was, I have to put my feet on the floor and begin walking toward my office. And I wasn't like, oh, yay, I'm going to go do it. I acknowledged I didn't feel like doing it. I was like, I'm working from commitment and not from emotion. I would have a temper tantrum, like a literal 2-year-old, to the office. And then my rule was I could not sit down until I dialed. So I had the number ready so I wouldn't sit there and judge it. How many of you guys have looked through the numbers? No, she's not gonna want it. No, I should call her now. Oh, she just had a baby. Oh, she's really busy. Oh, she likes to do the holidays a certain way. I'm not gonna call her. And then you don't ever dial. You dial like one person, the same one again, and you're like, shoot, and nothing comes from it. So I would literally have to dial without judgment. And once you do it, you dial the first couple people, you're good. It's the starting. So what are you going to do to make yourself start? Now, for me, I always booked on Sunday night and Monday night, 7:00 on Sundays, 7:30 on Mondays, week in, week out. But that doesn't have to be what you do. Maybe you want to do 30 minutes here, 1 hour there. It doesn't matter. People are available at all kinds of times. What time's best for you? Just pick what's best for you, your family, your lifestyle, the way your energy works. So I would do that as a routine. And then over time, it was just like, oh, it's Sunday, it's Monday. And that's what I do on. And when I was really building my business, every Monday was PJ day. I didn't want to get dressed on Mondays. Mondays was PJ day. Tuesday was my meeting day. Wednesday was my follow-up day. Thursday was another event. Friday, I took off. Friday was the time I was responsible to no one. I got my nails done, my hair done, my massage, my sleep in, whatever the heck I wanted to do. Friday was my day. Saturday morning, I would have at 10 a.m. I would have an event, and at 2 p.m. I would have one more, and that was my Saturday. Sunday night, I would take off on Sunday in the day. Sunday evening at 7:00, I would begin my calls. See the routine. Sunday was also birthday party, family day. I'm like, guys, you want me to come? A birthday party, have it Fridays or Sunday days, because otherwise I ain't coming. Why? Because I saw 10 years down the road. And every time I said yes to those little things that would not be a remembrance in the long run, I was chipping away at my decade plan. I know it's hard to think that far ahead, but you guys, do you want to be in a situation where you're an elderly person and you need to be in a rehab center like my mom did that costs $10,000 a month? Because once you're there, after a certain amount of days, Medicare stops paying. You have to be out of the rehab or the facility for 56 days before you can go back in to be taken care of again by Medicare. Well, My mom kept having emergencies between those 56 days and she had to go back in. And my mom's friend, her roommate, was out 54 days and had an emergency and had to go back in. Has to pay. Hers is $13,000 a month, you guys. $13,000 a month. She had to call her ex-husband and beg for money. She had to get $100,000 borrowed from him that she's not going to be able to pay back. Thank God she had someone give her $100,000 to buy her of like 7-8 months, you guys. That's why I'm telling you, you need the money. You might have long-term care, some of that will kick in, but it creates limited choices, you guys. You don't know what's going to happen in your future. You might live vitally your entire life and then your family gets that inheritance. Well, wow, that's a problem. Prepare today by saying no to the little things, get the big things. So a routine. When are you booking? When are you lead generation? All the rest is going to then happen for you. I was so like freedom oriented. I was like, oh, I don't want to have a routine. I don't want to like box myself. But how many of y'all feel guilty? You feel guilty when you're not working. You feel guilty when you are working. You feel guilty. That is a low vibration emotion. How do you eliminate it? By having the routine. Okay, I'm present here and everybody that I love is communicated to. This is when I do this. And this is when I do that. And then when I'm not doing it, I am present and guilt-free. Whatever the results were when I did the work, I know it's going to average out because I've done the numbers. I've done the math that I know I'm going to have the result in the end. So I can be present to this birthday party and this lunch and this coffee I decide to have, whatever it is, you guys, and the TV shows you want to binge on. But you earned it. You earned the freedom to enjoy the moments. Okay, so routine, mindset, really quick. There were two, I've been really studying this. I'm actually leaving tomorrow to go see Joe Dispenza, who's a neuroscientist who's famous because he severed his spine in half and refused it with his mind. He was supposed to be in an electric wheelchair and he refused his own spinal cord with his mind. So I'm going to learn deep manifestation and actually I'm going to learn how to heal my own body and how to manifest. But Joe talks about, and it's true, and this is what I did in 2005 that I didn't realize when I quantum leaped my business, when I became the queen, #1 in the company. I'd never done the quota sharing before, became #1 in the company, did the top trip, and I came off a pity party. I came off a depression of my business. Like what, like, ugh, I hated just watching TV and trudging through and going backwards. How many of y'all have gone backwards in your business? I mean, I was at an all-time low, but then I made this decision that I'm not going to sit in this pitiful place any freaking more. So in 2005, I made this decision and this is what happened. And this is the mindset shift. There's two things you have to do. You speak the words, and apparently speak goes into energetic vibration in the universe. Like you're speaking to God. You can speak it in prayer. You can speak it in affirmation. You speak where you want to go. So that sends out the calling. Hey, this is the vibration I'm on now. I want this. But what we don't talk about enough is that the way for that wish to come back to you, do you know how to make the wish come back to you? You got to take emotional vibration, and that's called magnetism. So when you put the emotion as if it's already happened, the joy, the exhilaration, the excitement, the pleasure, the confidence, the fun that goes with it, when you feel that feeling, then what you sent out in that vibrational line is magnetically drawn back, and you don't have to worry about the how to. The how to just kind of unfolds. But now when you go through this vibration, and then you feel that feeling of gratitude. Now, what is going to naturally happen in your spirit is that you begin to act as if you are that person already, and therefore you do the things somebody with that kind of success does. So it's not like you're sitting on the couch going, "Ooh, I'm gonna have this, yay!" and then you eat chips. You're literally like, you're putting it out there, you're feeling the feeling of it's already being done, and then your body goes, "Oh, I'm gonna make that call that I wasn't gonna make." So how do you shift that mindset? So you speak the words and you magnetize that feeling back. point to your chest every time you are in a low vibration, every time you're in doubt, every time you're in fear, every time you're in frustration, the number one enemy is yourself. This doggone person, you're the enemy at that moment, because your brain is in survival at that moment. Your brain is trying not to feel pain. Your brain is trying not to die. And that's past history. Like, okay, I know when I hear that sound, I got to run or I'm going to die, right? So your brain is there. Well, to prepare in that moment, you can't trust your voice, because it's going to automatically go to the history to decide what to do. You make decisions on your vision and not your circumstance, so you change. So I was prepared in that moment. For me, at that moment, I picked from The Greatest Salesman in the World. You see, this book is all torn up because this is how much I used this book, right? So I in the inside cover, because I felt like I was going to be the almost made it girl. I had so many failed attempts, you guys, so many failed attempts at this point in my career, that this one spoke to me. And so here's what you do. You pick a Bible, you pick a song, you pick a Bible verse, you pick a song that moves you, you pick a something like this, a powerful saying that speaks to your fear. And when you feel that feeling, because you will feel the feeling of doubt, of lack, of less, of never, you will inevitably feel it. We all do. So don't think you're special. Don't think you're different. Don't think it's not meant to be because you're feeling it. Congratulations. You're like the rest of the underperforming universe. Okay, so what you going to do about it now? What you going to do about it now? You're going to be prepared, and you're going to speak to the universe. And I would go to the mirror. You got to go to the mirror, you guys. You got to go to the mirror. I didn't know about this magnetism stuff, but I learned about rewiring. And so you go to the mirror and you get so close where your pupils are, where your soul freaking lives. You talk to it through that. You get past your nose that you're going to judge in your bad hair day, and you get in that pupil and you tell your soul who it be, because now you get to be in charge for just a minute. Your conscious mind is going to tell the operating system, which is your subconscious, who the frick you are now. And you say it and you say it and you say it and you say it until you start to feel it. Remember, I told you, like, it's the words and the feeling, but you can't fake the feeling. You got to make the feeling, you guys. You got to make it. You can't pretend like, yeah, I'm actually happy. Inside, you're like, oh my God, my life freaking sucks. No, you got to feel the feeling. So I was like, I will persist until I succeed. I was not delivered unto this world, into defeat, nor does failure course through my veins. I am not a sheep. And then I would think in my head, oh, I feel like a sheep. I am not a sheep. I am not a sheep waiting to be prodded by my shepherd. Meaning I'm not waiting for someone else to poke me and tell me, Roya, go to work and go do this. You guys stop depending on your upline to tell you to do it. You're the freaking by yourself person in your own freaking mind that tells you, I'm not enough. Yeah, I know. That's what the rest of the world is going to tell you too. So who you going to be though? So you go to the mirror, and I will persist, and I'm a lion. And I will, and the slaughterhouse of failure is not my destiny. I will persist until I succeed. I would say that until I went, yeah. And then I would make that call. And then I would walk into that party. And then I would stop doing in the trudgery, because you're magnetizing more trudgery. It takes a minute. It takes 30 seconds. It could take up to 3 minutes. Maybe you have to say it 50 times. How long does 50 times take you? How many years are passing because you're not doing 50 times? You guys are like watching your life dissipate. You're watching it do the halfway point. Get up the freaking mountain by magnetizing your future. And you have all the capacity now. You have all the knowledge. And as Oprah says, once you know, you cannot pretend you do not know. So that's step number 2. Step number 3 is when you sell, you got to listen. You got to freaking listen. You got to stop telling them what they need. You got to listen to what they want. What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? And when they tell you what they want, believe them. And you go, okay, I can get you what you want, or I can't get you what you want. Can I get you what you need or want right now or not? Let me hear. Let me hear what you want, what you want, what you want. Okay, let's dream. Let's look at the possibilities. This is how I became the queen of sharing, you guys. This is how I quantum leaped. This is how I went from no money to no debt and 7,500 square foot house. This right here, I'm telling you, a machine that runs your dream, magnetize your mindset, and go into service with a close. With a close. Why do you need to close? Because how many of y'all have walked around going, in Macy's, I like shopping at Macy's, but they don't have enough cashiers in their place. And I've got this great thing I really wanted. I really want this cup. This cup I would use all the time. And I walk around and this cup would save my life because I use it every day and it keeps my stuff hot. And it keeps people from having to smell my apple cider vinegar, but nobody's at the cash register. And I go, too much work. I'm gonna leave. You guys, you're telling them about the item that they need, but you're not letting them buy it. So that's the gift. You're actually giving them the opportunity to have what it is they want. They don't know how to get it. People feel stuck. They're dreamless. They're hopeless. So help with a close actually helps them. Help with no close is a conversation that's left on the table. You just opened up a dream conversation anybody can have on a back porch and stay on that same back porch for their entire freaking life. So welcome to 2022, sisters. It's all up to you what it's going to look like. Nobody is responsible but your own dang self. So wake up, smell the coffee because it smells really good. And your ability and capability is matching. Why do I know? Because there's a handful of you watching this right now. And it is your divine appointment and it is your divine sign. There are not the thousands that are in our national area right here, right now. It is you, exclusively you, for you, because of you. Your soul called it in. Your higher power said, God said to you in this moment, I want more of you. You deserve more. You can have more. Now I'm going to give you a message of how you can do more through this human that I'm going to transcend through to remind you of your enoughness and the people that are attached to you enoughness, and that your messy process is normal and you're going to go through messy adolescence and you're going to be confident on the other side of it because you pushed through. That 2022 is your year. Whisper, 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 whisper. Yes, you can. And I hope you do. God bless you guys. See you next time. I will stay on if I know I went over. So if anyone has anything, I know I already said goodbye, but I'm here for you. Hit me in Voxer if you want. Tell your sisters to watch this.